Welcome to a new video here on my channel, here at Commaik. I'm going to start building my new pool deck today on the south side of the new pool. I will be building an elevation in this area to bring the patio to the correct height with the pool coping stones. I have to install the skimmer and also compensate for the height difference to my pool house. If you want to know how I do it, then definitely stay tuned, because that's exactly what this video is about. A few years ago, there was a steel wall pool here that was embedded in the ground. I rebuilt the steel wall pool and also the terrace that ran around the outside of the steel wall pool. The steel wall pool project and the dismantling and my experience with the BPC terrace that was installed at the time can be found linked at the top right. Now, I will continue building the pool with the new Schallstein pool that we built. I would like to extend the existing terrace that we built last year with these stones at the front here. I want to build a walkway here so that I can get to the roof of the pool house via this walkway. We have specially reinforced the roof. The old BPC decking boards, which I have previously used, will then be reinstalled there. I would also like to use the wooden beams made from local Larch again. What is my goal? I want to attach the beams to the wall here. I would like to attach an aluminum profile to the beam on which the screws of the plank bracket will hold permanently. The old BPC planks should then be attached and screwed onto the aluminum profiles. You can see the structure in detail here. I have already measured the correct height. I will attach brackets here to place and screw the bearing beam. The aluminum profile goes on the beam, and I lay the BPC planks on it in landscape format. The terrace should have a depth up to this point. It will be built flush with my gabion wall. That's about 80 centimeters, so plenty of space. This means I have to install a few profiles to distribute the load evenly. At the same time, I have to think about how I can easily access my skimmer later. The floorboards are installed well above the skimmer. Unfortunately, the collar of the skimmer is not high enough to pull it out far enough for the lid to be flush with the floorboards. There are still a few centimeters missing. I'll have to see how I can do that. If you have an idea or a suggestion for me, please write me a comment under the video now. Then I also have to compensate for this height difference. This stone was built at the level of the roof of the pool house. There was an increase here, which was unfortunately not technically possible at the time. I have to compensate for that too. My goal is to build the BPC planks flush with the individual stones. The height of the floorboards and the aluminum profiles fits perfectly to the height of the pool edging stones. I already took that into account when gluing. Now I hope you enjoy watching. I'll start by attaching the large bar on the back. Then I will install beams on the concrete foundations from the old patio. I will attach the appropriate cross braces and then screw on the aluminum profiles. I attached the heavy-duty brackets to the wall with size 10 screws and dowels. That definitely holds up. I then cut the beam from my old terrace to the correct length with the chop saw and screwed it from below. The old post shoes were also screwed back into the existing holes with solid size 14 screws. The 10 centimeters thick beams from the old terrace were of course used again. I attached them to the post shoes using wood eater screws, thus completing the foundation. I then screwed the beam on the wall and the freestanding beam together with 5 cross beams. The freestanding wooden beam was then secured with a headband and 30 centimeters long wood screws so that nothing wobbles. The first stage has been completed, and I have built the substructure for the pool here. The beams are screwed to the pool wall on one side, solidly anchored in the ground on the other side, and screwed together firmly with brackets. The headband here on this side provides additional stability. Nothing wobbles here anymore. I've already started laying out my aluminum profiles to see how the measurements work out. Of course, I will have to piece the remaining pieces that I cut off here into pieces there. I have to check whether the distance here is sufficient. Because as you know from my video, 3 years of BPC experience, I wasn't really satisfied with this BPC terrace. Because these boards have bent and warped in the sun, the distance between the profiles should not be too large. But I still have it and don't need to buy it new. That also has its advantages. In the next step, I will now finish aligning my aluminum profiles. I'll cut them off in the appropriate places and put them back together again. And then I can start screwing my BPC planks together. I first pre-drilled the aluminum profiles and then attached them to the beams with wood screws. This way I can make sure that everything stays in place later and nothing slips. I also pre-drilled the holes for the start and end brackets before screwing the screws directly into the aluminum. I was then able to hook and align the first plank. I was able to reuse the patio clips for attaching the floorboards for my old patio. The system is not visible later and is screwed directly to the floorboards and the subsurface. Since the aluminum profiles were so massive, I had to first pre-drill each hole with my cobalt drill. But the floorboards hold up even better. I then sawed out the hole for the ground sleeve with a core drill. I use my angle grinder to shorten the aluminum profiles to the appropriate length. Since the aluminum becomes greasy very quickly, the angle grinder is not the best choice. It would certainly have been easier with a hacksaw. To attach the last plank, I first shortened the aluminum profiles to the appropriate length and then installed the end brackets. I then removed the clips from the previous plank and hooked the new plank into the end clips. Now I was able to push the clips in from the side through the grooves and screw both boards together at the same time. I built the pool deck on my pool house the same way. I laid out the aluminum profiles, pre-drilled the holes, and then attached each plank individually to the profiles with the clips. Finally, I just had to shorten the plank to the appropriate length on the outside and inside using my handheld circular saw. It took a good weekend to build my pool terrace. The old terrace, the old BPC floorboards, and the old beams from my high terrace of the oval steel wall pool have now been given a new life. As you can see, the planks are screwed flush. The escape is in a line. The terrace is stable. She holds me and everyone else. All I have to do is wash off the streaks from my marking. I also have to use the Karcher to wash off and gently scrub the dirt that has accumulated on the old floorboards over time. What is your opinion about the project? What else can you give me? Because I need your help. I would like to add nice, subtle pool lighting or patio lighting in this area. I'm just not sure yet whether I should install LED spotlights from below into the BPC floorboards or whether I should install an LED light strip. Write me in the comments what you can recommend to me. What have you had good experiences with? What do you like? I would be very happy to copy something from you and recreate it. Maybe a little look from the side. You can see that I have already cut off the old solid rubber mat. I would also like to cover the facade of my pool house with the remaining BPC boards. I will do that in the next few days. And I will also cover the area below the catwalk. Here I will install a door and an inspection shaft so that I can crawl under the terrace at any time. Well, what else can I show you? The solution with my skimmer didn't turn out quite as chic as I imagined, but it is functional. I attached the floorboards to these 3 aluminum profiles. This will definitely last. I can put the hatch on and take it down. The profiles and planks are installed so that they are always in the same position. So that in the end, the conclusion is still right. This way, I can easily access the skimmer at any time and simply close the lid again when I'm finished. Well, it's not perfect. It's just due to the circumstances. What is your opinion about the project? Give me feedback. Write me a comment under the video. What do you think about the fact that I built a new pool terrace out of the old BPC planks? Give me a subscription and give me a like for this video if it was useful to you and if you liked it. Please take a look at the video where I will link you to the components that I used here. Maybe there's something in there for you too. Thank you for watching, and I'm looking forward to the next video with you. I will expand the area behind the pool with a stone slab terrace. I'll tackle that next. And I would like to attach an awning to the area in front of the garden kitchen. A foldable sun sail. The ground sockets are already there. And you'll see how I do it in one of the next videos. Until then, take care. Ciao.